everybody, and thank you for coming back. Today I have another video for you today in answer to another one of your questions, and it's this morning. It's a very topical question. I'm going to switch to the screen now so you can see the slides, and the question is, how do I practice open water swimming without going in open water? I don't know what it's like where you live, but in Leeds the water temperature is definitely not warm enough for you to enter into it and do some real meaningful swimming. Maybe to get your head wet, to get a little bit cold for a few minutes, but that's about all. Now, it won't be long, but until that time, you're going to have to satisfy yourself with practicing in the pool. Now, this photograph you can see here, there's quite a lot of things that you might want to practice. This is from a deep water start. This is Hawaii Ironman, so it's a deep water start. There's a lot of people, so you're going to have to contend yourself with swimming with others, but as you can see there, some of them are already drafting right from the very first second. And as you can look into the distance, right down the middle of the picture, you'll see the if you look closely, the little buoys. Those mark the course, and in the far end you might be able to see the outline of a boat. That's the turning point, and then they come back following the yellow buoys. The buoys are on your right all the time. Okay, so you need to navigate, and most people, these swimmers on the right, have already gone off course, and actually if you were to see several frames later, they are swimming towards the middle of the sort of no man's land. So, open water skills, these are the things that you can practice in the pool while you're swimming now, and you can try them every single time you go. They are, in no particular order of importance, sighting, so that's looking up. Navigating, again, making sure you're swimming in the right direction, looking up regularly. Swimming in groups. Drafting. And deep water starts. So let's go back to those then. Sighting. Sighting is when you look up. You have to remind yourself to look up every 4 to 5 strokes. It's just a habit thing. One of the reasons why people swim slower or swim further is because they're not looking up and they go off course. So this is just a habit, really, and you can practice this in every session in the pool. Navigating, again, is just changing course, and if you look up regularly, you don't have to make that much of an error correction. Group swimming, well, there may well be several hundred people in your wave, but all you have to really worry about is the person in front and to either side and behind. So maybe 4 or 5 swimmers at most. Drafting, well, when you're in a group, you can get on somebody's feet or on their hip, and that will make your swim a lot easier. I'd recommend practicing this and becoming adept at swimming a couple of feet off behind somebody's toes or by the hip to save yourself a lot of energy. And finally, deep water starts. Not for every race, but there will be some, and if you're not used to it, then it's going to affect your performance when the day comes. So, cold water acclimatization. What to do if it's too cold to swim? I'd recommend that you go to your lake, but don't go for a swim, but put your wetsuit on, gradually walk into the water, allow it to move its way up your body inside the suit until you can get to the point where it's at chest height, and then slowly dip your head into the water. Just put it in there for a few seconds. You may get that little ice cream headache that we're familiar with. You can put an extra hat on if that helps. Sometimes provides a bit more insulation. Slowly put your head under, count 5, 10, 15, and build up your tolerance. To start with, I wouldn't spend any more than 5 minutes standing there and then go off and have a warm shower, but if you go back on repeated days, you could probably build up your tolerance until you're able to be in the water for longer. There are some temperature regulations that British Triathlon set, so if the water temperature is below those, you won't be doing much swimming anyway in your race. I think the minimum is 11C. Up to 12C, it's about 500 metres, and above that you can swim a bit further. So the race organisers will be regulated by those temperatures as well. So don't worry about not having got the requisite amount of meterage in. How can you include this in some of your sessions? Well, here are some ideas that you can try. Number 1, To practice your deep water starts and swimming in a group, have 4 or 5 of you push off from the wall, so you're having to float in the deep end, and then get one of you to shout go and swim 25 metres hard. Just sort yourselves out. You're going to get bashed by people. You'll have people tickling your feet and putting their hand on your leg like they would in a race. I'm afraid you have to get used to that, and so the more you practice it, the more familiar you will become, the less worried you will become, and the more you will concentrate on your own swimming than trying to shake off somebody else. So you can do 10 times 25 metres hard. Obviously, if you've got 50 metre pool, do 25 hard and then all swim easy to the other end. With the navigating and sighting, just insert into any long set, lifting your head for 2 strokes every 5 or 6 strokes, and make sure it becomes a habit. It's very simple. Okay, you just do that in every session. Swimming on the toes or hip of another swimmer, so you can do this with one person in front of you or another couple or as part of that group deep water start set. Take turns in leading, swim on the hip, learn what it's like to synchronise arms when you're swimming on the hip, so you're both stroking together so you're not clashing arms. You'll notice that the ITU swimmers do this automatically just because they swim together in groups a great deal. But practice 25 metres of drafting and then leading, and notice the difference in effort level required when you're leading. And finally, to make navigating and sighting easier, practice a water polo stroke. So 10 times 25 metres, going 6 strokes as what we call polo. So that's head up and then 6 strokes normal. You need to kick a little bit more when you do polo to stop your legs sinking. So 6 strokes polo, 6 strokes normal. Insert those into your sessions in the next few weeks, and when you get into the open water, all you'll have to get used to is the darkness and the lack of turns, and you'll be familiar with all of the other skills. So I hope that's helped. Good luck with your swimming this year. I will be back with some more videos next week, but for now, enjoy your weekend, and hope to see you at some open water events this year.